When people enter bonus queue, do you know what they think? They always think that if I speak well, if I explain properly, and if I answer every objection, I'll finally get my first sale. And then after 2 weeks, they come back saying, Arpita, I spoke to 200 people, nothing happened. And that's exactly, I want to tell you something that might completely change the way you look at bonus queue. The problem isn't that you aren't speaking enough. The problem is you are speaking too much. Hi people, welcome back to your channel Dream4 Journey with Arpita. This is your host, and now we are on the Friday episode, which is inside the soul of bonus queue or the bonus queue season 2. Now the thing is, if you all remember, on Monday we spoke about an entrepreneurship lesson which was never chase a sale, right? On Wednesday, I showed you Frank because he was the one who taught me that principle that you cannot chase a sale when you are an entrepreneur. Like you cannot chase every business which is out there in the market, right? So that was the entrepreneurship principle, the customer who taught me. Now, on Friday, we are going to learn how do we apply those particular instance or those particular logic into bonus queue, because bonus queue is a space where you actually have a lot of customers saying the same thing. The reason people are in bonus queue, the customers are in bonus queue, is because these are the customers who are actually going to 10 different places in the market, who are actually looking for a better fare, and that is the reason they are delaying their decision, because maybe they are comparing the airline, maybe they are comparing the budget, maybe they are comparing the luggage. There is something or the other that they are comparing, and that is the reason they have not yet made the decision. So technically speaking, in bonus queue, people have the higher percentage of dealing with such customers who would say that I'll think about it. I found a cheaper price already online, or somebody else is giving me a better deal. So now, how do you tackle these problems, especially in bonus queue, to get your that first sale? So, like I told you that on Wednesday when you would have heard that story. Of course, because if you do not have watched that story, you need to watch, because otherwise you'll not be able to understand the concept. So please make sure that you are watching all these videos in interlink. The reason I have connected them as an interlink, because that is where you will learn everything about one particular customer, and how those objections are given and how do you handle them. So every story is interlinked, and that's where it will make sense to you. Now, if you all remember, Frank didn't buy because I convinced him to. Rather, he bought because I gave him that space. I gave him the space that you are free to go. And today I want to show you, something completely different. Not what happened. We have already seen what happened, but why it happened. Because this is exactly where most people fail inside bonus queue. Actually, when a customer says that, okay, let me think about it, immediately our brain starts panicking, because we remember, we understand that what should I say now? Because now that the customer is telling me, he wants to get a better price, or he is already getting a better price. Now, should I give him more discount? Should I negotiate him with the fare? Should I, give him another airline? Should I tell him about another date? Should I explain the baggage policy? Should I explain the refund policy? Should I explain insurance? And suddenly, what happened is, if you all realize, we are not listening anymore. What are we doing now? We are performing. We have become actors. From a travel consultant, we have become an actor, because our whole goal is now that we should not lose that sale no matter what. Whether it's by hook or by crook, whatever needs to be done, we will do it to get that business. So, that this is where Frank taught me something very, very important. He wasn't asking for another itinerary. He wasn't asking for another airline. He wasn't even asking for another price. But he was just trying to understand whether I was somebody that, he could trust. And those are two completely different conversations. And that's exactly what we have to do when we are encountering the bonus queue customers. So, that's exactly what we do in bonus queue. The minute the customer says that, I will think about it, we stop asking ourselves that, what is this customer actually thinking about? Like, why does he want to think about it? Have you ever questioned yourself that, why this customer still needs more time when you are giving him every possible, itinerary, the date and everything? Because see, the thing is, the difference is customer never asked you. You are giving it on your own. Why? Because in your mind, you want to save that sale, right? Now, sometimes, maybe it just means that the customer isn't ready yet, Sometimes it means that he is going to discuss it with their family. Sometimes it means that, he is just comparing, the dates, the flight options, or maybe anything else. And sometimes it simply means that he doesn't trust the decision yet. Now, if you actually don't know which is the particular instinct or which is the particular, objection that the customer is actually dealing with, no amount of explaining will help. Let's say, the customer is actually going through all of these things in his mind. And if you're just explaining about any random date, any random itinerary or anything, tell me one thing, no matter whatever you're going to speak, it is going to fall on deaf ears, because the customer will not understand, because that is not exactly what he's anyway thinking in the first place, right? So because he wasn't asking for a lower fare, he wasn't asking for another airline, he was just trying to decide whether he is actually trusting somebody with his business or not. And that's a difference, because the moment I stopped trying to convince him, and I started understanding him, the entire conversation changed. Because the biggest mistake is inside bonus Q isn't talking too little, it's answering questions the customers never ask. Now I want you all to pause the video here and go back to your bonus Q conversations and imagine how many times you all have given so many random information to the customer never asked. So now you tell me that when you all were doing this, were you all really helping the customer, or were you all actually confusing the customer more with all the random information he never needed at the first place? Many a times I have seen people making this mistake. They give a lot more to think to the customer, so the questions which were never there in their mind, they start thinking about them also. Now what has happened here? You have jeopardized your own sale, because you gave enough room to the customer to think about 10 different things which was never on his mind, and which is where you don't need to talk much. You need to listen more, and you need to understand. There is a difference between understanding and reading between the lines. You need to read between the lines. Now the thing is, what bonus Q is actually trying to teach you, silently. People think that bonus Q exists to give you sales. No, sales are only the byproduct. Bonus Q exists to teach you observation. Every customer is teaching you something. Some customers teach you patience. Some customers teach you honesty. Some customers teach you timing. Some customers teach you silence. Frank taught me that sometimes doing nothing is the strongest thing you can do. Not because you are giving up, because you are respecting the customer's decision-making process. Now, why do I say so that Frank taught me? Because you always say, Arpita, this was your return customer. But remember, before becoming a return customer, he was just a random customer, which I had picked up from bonus Q. This is my bonus Q sale, not a live call sale. So when I was doing the bonus Q sale with him, at that point in time also, he only had one issue, that none of the agents that he was talking to were able to understand what he really wanted. And I was the one on a random, bonus Q lead that I had picked up. I just understood, and then we got the business done. And even then also, I was the one who was giving him a little higher price, because remember, I had bundled the insurance also. So it all boils down to, you need to read your leads properly. You need to understand what has been sent, why it has been sent, and what is it that you can add more value. Here, when Frank came as a return customer to me, I did not need to add the value. I saved my time by adding by telling him about my value, because he made that decision consciously that Arpita is the one who can actually handle my request well. So even though he had a better opportunity elsewhere, he still chose to come to me. So that is the difference. Now, what I want you all to do is, tomorrow when you all enter the bonus Q, I don't want you all to count how many calls did you make, whether you made 100, 200, 50, 60, whatever it is. I want you all to count something else. Ask yourself, what did customer number 1 teach me? What did customer number 2 reveal about themselves? Where did the customer number 3 hesitate? Did I notice something, or was I too busy talking? Because if you learn one lesson from every customer, you will never have a wasted day inside bonus Q, even if you don't make a sale. Now comes the interesting part, because now people will again flood my comment section saying that, Arpita, but we will only observe this when the customer answers the call. If the customer doesn't answer the call, what will we do here? The thing is, even if the customer doesn't answer the call, if you all go back to my bonus Q video, where the second sale that I made, it was just purely on the CMS price code that were sent to the customers. So the thing is, many times the customers may not talk to you, but they may just reply to your email or anything, or maybe whenever you are sending the price codes and everything, you will see how many quotations are already been sent. When you are actually reading the lead properly, you will understand that if this customer is not buying at this price, maybe he's looking for something else. Maybe try to send an email to the customer stating that, because this is what I have done, on all my bonus Q leads, wherever I see that the sale is not, it's not about to happen, I always send them an email that Mr. So-and-so, I'm calling on behalf of ASAP tickets and everything. I've seen you've got a couple of options from us. I see there are a lot of, emails that have been sent on different dates and everything. I just wanted to know, are you still going ahead with your travel? And if yes, then is there something particular that you want me to address, that you want me to look at? This is exactly how you start a dead end conversation, and that's exactly the reason why you are in bonus queue. See, the thing is, it's very easy for me to stand here and speak about everything that I am doing, but at the same time, I want you all to be independent enough to understand that what is a new thing that you all can do, because in the end, when you're going to make that first sale in bonus queue, it is going to be your sale, it is going to be your customer, maybe in the future it will be your return customer as well, and maybe eventually it can become your business, and then you can be like, the entrepreneur. That's what we are talking about. So this is why, I never call bonus queue a waiting room. It's a classroom. Your first sale is the biggest, your first sale isn't the biggest achievement that you would do, but your biggest achievement is actually becoming the kind of consultant customers naturally come back to. Sales will always follow that. Next Friday, we are going to continue this journey because Frank only taught me one lesson. The next customer that we are going to talk about, that taught me something completely different. And trust me, that lesson changed the way I handled every difficult customer after that. And right now, if you're currently inside the bonus queue, please don't just wait for that first sale. Collect your first lesson because that's the real beginning of your businesses. And I'll see you next Friday. I hope that this session is helping you understand bonus queue more closely, and which is why I have named this session as Soul of Bonus Queue, because whatever I'm going to share in this entire series, that's going to be the soul and core independent lessons of bonus queue. So thank you so much, people, for watching my video. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe, and we'll meet again on Monday with the second entrepreneurship lesson.